Welcome. Today is February 6th, and it's the signing day for all football bowl subdivision schools, and certainly it is one here for San Jose State University. In a moment, San Jose State football coach Ron Carragher will discuss San Jose State's 2013 football signing class. So, at this time, let's hear from San Jose State football coach Ron Carragher.
Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate it. First of all, it's a privilege to be here. I'm excited. It's been a fun month. It's been an exciting time when you take over a job mid-recruiting season, if you will. At the end of the season, you have a number of things at hand that you need to take care of. One is to complete your staff so that you have the proper manpower to go out on the road and do the recruiting. You like to assess your situation to see where you are from a personnel standpoint. And then in this case, there was some good momentum with the program, and you want to proceed forward and to keep that momentum going into recruiting. I'd like to begin by thanking our administration for their support throughout this process and assistance in the recruiting process. I'd like to thank our coaching staff and start with our recruiting coordinator, Terry Malley, for what he's done in keeping some good, solid continuity from the recruiting class going forward. And then all the coaches that I've hired since that have jumped in, midstream and kept the recruiting going. Assessing our needs, you look in recruiting, you look at a couple things. First and foremost, you want to address what are your immediate needs. What will help you win next year in the 2013 season in our case? And then secondary, what will help you win down the road? In the perfect world, you're recruiting for 2 years from now, not necessarily next year. With football being such a developmental sport, you get your athletes in, you work with them, they learn the system, they learn the scheme, and a little over after a fall camp, after a spring practice, they make their way on the field. We felt, looking at our situation, the pressing needs were at the defensive line position, having a particular defensive end, having lost 3 seniors at that position. Secondly, the tight end position, having lost some 2 seniors there that contributed significantly at that position. And then thirdly, the offensive line. That was a position that we addressed as well. And I think we addressed those needs. And I'm real excited about the recruiting class that we have. Beyond that, it shifts into a mode of let's get the best athletes we can with the number of spots that we have. I'm real excited about the guys that we have coming on board. And just in a nutshell, what I look for, having been in this thing for a long time, having been part of rebuilding a program, having been part of a successful program in my past, I think first and foremost character is of utmost importance because you need young men that are trustworthy and accountable both on and off the field. Secondly, I think passion for the game of football is huge. Guys who love the game, want to be great, want to be part of a championship program, and want to compete at the highest level. I think that's very important. And third, I think the important thing here too is to project guys you can develop. You certainly don't want to bring in players that are maxed out or peaked out, guys that have a lot of upside in the development. Football is such a developmental game that when they leave here 23 years old or 22 years old, they're so different from a physical standpoint than they are when they arrive here at 17 or 18. So those 3 factors really go into my assessment and my history of recruiting athletes to an institution, and I'm real excited with that. We've addressed the defensive line, we addressed the offensive line, and we addressed the tight end position, and beyond that we have some heck of outstanding athletes coming in to the program. So with that being said, real excited. The class we have coming in, there are 5 young men on this list are currently here. They were mid-year signees and they're on board, so we're excited. We'll get to work with them for 15 spring practices the entire off-season before summer practice comes. And then the other 15 young men on this list will be joining us in the fall. So that'll give us a chance to work with them. With that, I'll open it up to some questions.
Just on the, excuse me, on defensive end particularly, it looks like you went for somebody that could really help you immediately. That's what the JCs, I guess, are for.
Yeah, definitely. When you have a pressing need immediately, I think from the maturity standpoint, you feel better going into the year with a 20 or 21-year-old athlete than you do a 17 or 18-year-old freshman. Just more developed. You've seen them play on film against a higher level of competition, and thus the reason for the junior college additions. And you see just starting, and you don't want to build a roster, or my personal philosophy rather is not to build a roster on junior college players, but I think you can address certain needs and definitely pressing needs that you need to address immediately. All the while knowing high school guys can come in and play if they develop and learn the system pretty fast.
Are there any of the high school guys that you look at and say this guy can possibly be an impact player next year?
Good question. I think, and I address that question with freshmen when I'm recruiting them. Never promise a starting position. I've never done that. I don't believe in that. What I tell all our freshmen is, because the question that you get a lot from athletes and their parents is, are we going to redshirt? What's your philosophy on that? And I think for a freshman to come in and play, I'll give an example. Jimmy Pruitt last year played and started all the games for the Spartans last year. For a freshman to come in and play, it has to be a combination of one, there's an opening for that at that position. There's an opportunity, so there's not great depth and great experience. Number one, and two, that freshman needs to come in and understand and pick up the scheme and understand the proper fundamentals and execute the scheme properly so the coach feels confident to play him. In my history, I've played as many as 8, 9 true freshmen. I've played as few as 1 and 2 true freshmen, depending on the depth. Usually you're a better football team when you're only playing 1 or 2 freshmen. And when you're playing 8 and 9 true freshmen, you're probably going through some growing pains at that point. But there are a number of guys. It's just hard to jump out and say who can. It all depends when they get here, what type of work ethic they have, what type of opportunity, and how quickly they pick up the scheme. Yes.
You guys had a good season last year. I know you weren't here for that, but how do you think this new group's going to come in and impact the program?
Well, I'm excited. I tell you, the whole theme of recruiting this class is Spartan football on the rise, and we talk about a top 25 ranking. We talk about moving up to the Mountain West Conference, and that's exciting. And so there's momentum in that direction. I think it was great momentum. Our conference got a couple West Coast school additions to it to get to 12 teams, to get to a conference championship game. All those things add up and make it exciting, enthusiastic opportunity for our incoming players.
Oh, Coach,
Yes.
so if we could just say, like, when you first got the job, what was your first reaction when you heard some of the recruits that ended up changing minds and going on to another school?
Great question, and that can be perceived different ways. I'll tell you, when there's a number of commitments and not as many spots, and I hire coaches, and coaches come from different backgrounds, particularly on the West Coast, the coaching staff I hired, we all bring prospects to the table, if you will, that we are excited and think can help the program. And so things really did work out. Things worked out good. I'm excited about how they worked out. Had some of those spots, because we're limited scholarship-wise, as we all know. Had those spots not opened up, we would not have been able to bring some of these guys on this sheet who are our Spartans today would not have been here. Going back, administration did the right thing, the honorable thing. When there's transition, you tell your committed recruits that you'll honor those scholarships. and Gene Blameyer and our administration did that, and that's the right thing to do. But as a new staff comes in, sometimes things just aren't a match, and fortunately I think it worked out good for all parties involved. And I'm real excited about the guys that we were able to bring in, the guys that we have coming on today, and I can't wait to get them here, get started. I wish August could be here soon. I'm jumping ahead of spring practice, but these are guys that are excited to be here. They want to be here. They want to be San Jose State Spartans, and can't wait to start working with them as we move forward for 2013 season. Yes.
So, did you have any intentions of using any players, any of the new recruits on both sides of the ball? Because I know someone like Tyler Winston played wide receiver and safety in high school with a lot of success.
No, good question. I tell you, I tell guys it's not set in stone, the positions. I like to, when they first get here, is look at on both sides of the ball. Look at a back pedal, look at a skilled athlete running routes, catching footballs. Because certainly, if not now, down the road when you start getting into travel rosters and limitations on traveling, it's nice to have guys in your hip pocket that you know can play certain positions. And it's hard to find time down the road. So when they come as freshmen, that's a good opportunity. It is tough to play both ways. I've done it before. Usually it works into a situational aspect of offensive football, maybe a goal line package, where you can borrow that player from the defense or vice versa for those situations. Great. Last question?
Yeah. What's the atmosphere up here like with all the new signees?
Well, exciting. And I'm going to back up before just the signees, but with the coaching staff, with our strength and conditioning staff, our team coming back. We're having, Tuesday was our first team workout with the entire staff back. Being that we've all been on the road recruiting, and I saw great energy, great enthusiasm. This team is ready to proceed forward, and a lot of excitement about the young men that we have coming on board. They're excited, and I'm excited to start working with them, and so is our coaching staff. Great. All right, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Coach Carragher. That'll conclude today's press conference announcing the 2013 signing class. San Jose State's spring football practice begins February 19th and will conclude March 23rd. Thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you at another San Jose State football activity.